Hey, I'm Jusko from ProudMoney.com. How long does a late credit card payment stay on your credit report? What constitutes a late payment in terms of it actually being reported to the credit reporting agencies? And if your account ends up in collections, how does that factor in terms of that falling off of your credit report? We're going to address all of those. So when a late payment ends up on your credit report, it is going to stay there a good long time, 7 years. So it is going to be a while, and it is going to affect your credit score negatively, obviously. And future potential lenders will be able to see that on your credit report if they look at the details. And then obviously they'll be able to see that your credit score is a little bit lower. Now, what constitutes a late payment is different than what many people often think. You may send in your payment a few days late or whatever, and maybe the credit card company is going to charge you a late fee, but that's not a late payment in terms of what's going to end up on your credit report. You only have a late payment show up on your credit report if you were 30 days past the due date. That's how long it is going to be. So if you're a few days late, you forgot, and then all of a sudden you realized it, or you sent it in by mail on the day it was due, and it was a few days before they actually credit it to you, that is not a late payment in terms of how it's going to affect your credit report and your credit score. Now, if you're wondering when the clock starts ticking on those 7 years, it is on the date of delinquency, or what is sometimes called the first date of delinquency, when that due date was that you missed. That's when the clock is going to start ticking. Now, in some cases, people may have a full default of their credit card, which means they not only were late on a payment, but they stopped paying altogether, and eventually the credit card company gave up on them. That obviously is a very bad thing on your credit report and a very bad thing for your credit score. But what also can happen is that if you default on a credit card account, it could be sold to a collections agency from the original bank that issued the credit card, and then that collections agency is also going to put it on your credit report, and if you don't pay them, they're going to show it as a late payment as well, which could hurt you in the short term. Now, one thing to know is that even if your defaulted account is sold to a collections agency, you are still going to have that debt fall off of your credit report after 7 years. So even if the collections agency has a new sort of start date when they started trying to collect the debt from you, that 7 years is still going to be attached to the delinquency date that was originally on the first time that you missed that first late payment that you had. Now, of course, you don't want to be in any of those situations, but if you do have a late payment, you're going to have 7 years, but it's only late if it was over 30 days late and it got reported to the credit reporting bureaus. Questions, comments, put them in that comment section below. Otherwise, I thank you for watching. And as always, please go to ProudMoney.com, where we do credit card reviews, we talk personal finance, we talk deals, and all sorts of other fun stuff too. If you're not going to leave a comment, or you're not going to go to the website for some crazy reason, you might want to watch this video next.